This is how I know that racism is literally just jealousy. Because if you don't like a group of people, if you don't like someone or something, you leave it alone. You leave them alone, because if you don't like something or someone, you avoid them. But the thing with racists, or especially anti-black racists, they do not leave us the fuck alone. Like, how can you claim to hate black people yet be obsessed with them and be involved in everything they do? Anti-black racists literally claim to hate black people, yet will literally not leave them alone. And you can see this with history. You can see this with segregation era, when black people were actually thriving on their own, and yet white people destroyed their communities. It's just like, how can you claim to hate us, yet want to be us? And be so obsessed with us and our culture? You try to make us look bad, you come up with these crazy ass slurs to call us. There is just so much anti-blackness throughout America's conception that I literally could make like not even 2 hours, like I could be ranting about this forever. It's honestly just insane how you claim to hate us, yet you are literally obsessed with us. We live in your head rent-free.
These people are Native American Indians one day, Moors the next day, Israelites by a blink of an eye, FBA by sunrise. I don't know what they call themselves these days, and for you to say we are the whatever. First of all, how about we're every fucking thing? Is that hard to grasp? The way you go over to Asia and you see Koreans, you see people that are Vietnamese, you see people that are Chinese, you see people that are Filipino, but they're all Asian. You see how they're all different ethnic groups? You see how that works? You see how they all have different identity markers, but yet they're all Asian. You get that, right? What is so hard about believing that people that have melanin were all over the world and had different identities, different ethnic groups, different nationalities? Just like Africa is a whole goddamn continent. People that's Nigerian and the South Africans, they don't identify as each other. They actually fight amongst each other. They have different languages. They have different customs. The commonality is that they're all on the same continent. The commonality is that a lot of them share the same hue of complexion. But they're different. Y'all understand differences when it comes to Latin people. A Brazilian is not a Colombian is not a Puerto Rican, a Dominican is not a Mexican is not an Ecuadorian. Y'all understand the differences and y'all understand the commonalities when it comes to different groups of people. But when it comes to us, we all have to be the same. It's hypocrisy at this point. Stop being disrespectful. People can identify how they want to. That's just like different religious beliefs. There's people that look like me that might be a Christian, might be a Catholic, might be a Jehovah's Witness. We're all different. Just because we look the same doesn't mean that we don't practice different things, or it doesn't mean that we don't have different cultures. It doesn't mean that our ethnicities are exactly the same. The more you know. Even in America, I'm not the same as a black person that's in New Orleans, and I'm not the same as a black person that's in California. I'm not the same as a black person from Kentucky. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Y'all are very dense, and it's intentional when it comes to us, and it's very sad because everyone else gets to identify how they see fit. Everyone gets to trace their lineage back and be who they want to be and bring the stories down from what their grandmothers told them. But when it comes to us, it's a lie, it's a scam. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way.
I just feel like non-black people that are people of color that claim to be allies and they care about us and all that, blah, 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 blah. They like to date us, befriend us. I think y'all need to be better at holding the people in your lives, like the non-black people in your lives, accountable for their anti-blackness and colorism. I hate how you guys go out of your way to have black partners, black friendships, love black culture, black style, black music. But when you guys are at the dinner table talking to your family, you guys are okay with your grandma calling your boyfriend a hard ER. The hatred that a lot of people have towards black people, black women, is something that has been rooted in them since they were children. This is something that is taught. In most cultures, mind you, like darker skin is always like lesser value in a lot of fucking in most cultures. It's beyond blackness. And a lot of you guys like to benefit off of black people, but you guys don't actually care to call out the racist and the colorism in your life or to even change the system. And whether you like to admit it or not, it's because you guys benefit from the said system. And it's actually so disgusting because it feels like you guys don't even view black people, especially black women, as actual human beings with the same emotions, feelings, needs, desires as you guys. And it's disgusting. Unfortunately, situations like Kenny isn't rare at all. It's not. And I think the scariest thing about situations like Kenny and Janae is the fact that, like, what if they did end up having the 4 kids that she wanted and all that stuff? Now they have 4 black fucking children, racist father, racist family on one side. It's just dangerous. It's a bad system, and a lot of you guys, black people, do not care to keep on making that system. Like, you guys keep on dating these like people with racist families, racist past, racist history, and you guys are just like, well, people grow up, people learn, blah 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 blah. No, you really. This conversation makes me so mad. I'm just gonna end it here. I just feel like, as black people especially, we need to be careful with who we hang out with when it comes to non-black people as a whole. It is okay to be picky. It is so okay. I am the type of person, when I surround myself with non-black people, I am studying them for a little bit because I need to know what type of person you really are. I need to know if you're really there to ride for black people, or if you're just somebody that just likes the benefits of being around a black person. Because a lot of people seriously do like to study us. We are literally the blueprint. We are the blueprint. So people do benefit from being around us. And the amount of mixed people that I know that have had like experiences in their childhood where like their mother is like calling them the N-word when they get mad, and situations where their grandmother doesn't even like to be around them because they have a black father. Let's end that system. Like, please, 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 please. Let's really think about who we surround ourselves with, because it is dangerous. It does have effects to it. You really can't, as a black person, live your life all the time just being nonchalant and not give a fuck, because it's never gonna benefit you.
You can always tell a person who has yet to be punched in the mouth by the way they conduct themselves. A group of melanated individuals organized an event, the Black Joy Festival. They are there in this public park enjoying themselves, very joyous occasion. That is until, of course, a white lady shows up with a big ass microphone and a camera asking these people questions about Trump. They don't want her there. She refuses to leave. She wants to harass people and ask them questions about Trump because she wants to trigger people. Cops get called. The cops tell her to stop harassing people, stop following people around. If they don't want to talk to you, leave them alone. She refuses to do so. When I tell you, sometimes you have to just take that charge, knock some teeth out. So when they think about doing it another time, they'll rub their tongue across them gums and remember the last time they tried it.
Black people do not need to explain themselves to you anymore. Black people do not need to run their daily activities with white people anymore. Black people do not need freedom papers or to walk around with some kind of license to prove that they are free right now. They do not need to continuously prove to you that they belong. That is done. That is gone. That is done with the time. You cannot keep on expecting to always question black people because of the decisions they make. It is not for you to do that. Unless a black person wants to ask their fellow black people, you as a white person are not allowed to ask certain questions. You're not allowed to even get to a point where you feel like you are more important or superior to a black person. That should not happen, because at the end of the day, they are where they are because of the power that they put into that country. They're not just sitting around, laying around, waiting for white people to generate whatever they do to a country, work hard, and then, bring the economy up as they're seated, and then bring them food and clothing and water and shelter to their homes. They also work for your country to be where it is, for you to have a certain GDP, for the economy to either thrive or not. Everyone in that country has to work. So you asking a grown-ass person, a grown-ass black woman or black man, why they are not choosing to match with white people, why they are choosing to mind their business, why they're choosing not to talk to, or they're choosing to talk about certain things, is not for you to ask. The same way black people do not really be minding your business. It is usually very one-sided. Like, black people live rent-free in your minds. They live rent-free in your hearts, in your homes, constantly talking about black people, even when they haven't even actually done anything. It's really weird to see, because black people just want this obsession to stop, for you to literally treat them the same way you treat your fellow white people. Either like they don't exist, or you respect them enough to exist freely by themselves without you asking questions. But before I give my full commentary, let's listen to what other black people have to say, and then we'll come back and talk about it. See you shortly.
So I just found out as I was scrolling on TikTok that Trump has taken over the National Archives, where our history is. He took over the Kennedy Center and all of that. And you know what? I'm just going to be really honest. And this video could, be taken down or whatever. But at this point, I really don't give a damn. Listen, it just seemed like we are being targeted. This is not to make America great, not by fucking with black people. You're intentionally trying to erase our history and just take everything from us to make it hard to get jobs and education. So basically what this man is saying is that he wants us to go back to how it used to be back in the day when they could just unalive us at will and hang us from trees and like little decorations and nobody said anything. That's what he wants. That's what's happening. We have no voice. They don't want to hear our voice. They want us to shut up. I heard that the NFL is regretting Kendrick Lamar's halftime, and they say they should have went with Lil Wayne. But let me tell you something. Had they went with Lil Wayne, see, everybody would. They got a problem with Kendrick, but they really would have had a problem with Lil Wayne because you can't understand what he's saying. I love Lil Wayne, you understand? But he's not the same. Something is going on, and that brother needs help. But you got to understand, they don't want us to be conscious. They don't want us to be conscious of what's going on. So let me make a big rah about it. Like it was just so bad. How could it be so bad? We weren't out there being explicit. We was not showing our asses. You didn't have to, I mean, there was no twerking, none of that. Do you understand? But they had a hard time, just processing that. It was too much. It was too much knowledge. It was too much of this one black man being conscious. He telling everybody like, hey, they knew what it was. That's why they're pissed, because they didn't want that. They wanted to be entertained. I want you jumping around and flipping and spinning around. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be the clown. Entertain me. That's what they wanted. And Kendrick Lamar gave us the message. And they're pissed about it. But let me just say this. I don't know why white people, because I have to say just white, I don't know why they think trying to exterminate the black community or the black race is going to make things better for them. It's not. Y'all already going through it. This is what I'm saying. Just look at all the companies that have lost money because black people have just stopped supporting. That's it. Target is now saying, hey, we sorry, but it's low. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, at first it was just out loud and just, in your face. We don't want your business. We don't want y'all working here. We don't want this. We don't want that. And we don't have to. So, okay, fine. So we don't shop at Target. Now Target is saying, damn, I think we done looked up. We need y'all. We didn't know what we had did. And we sorry. But, the black community is like, we don't want to hear your sorries. We okay. We don't have to shop at Target. We don't have to shop at Walmart. We don't have to shop at none of those outlets, those department stores, anything. We don't have to do that. We could find other places to go. See, it's like they want to make it hard for us. Keep fucking with us. I'm telling you, it's just not going to be good. It's not going to be good. You cannot just do what you want to do to black people. It's not going to happen. And for those that don't like it, so what? You can't. We are human beings. We are human beings. God gave us life, not y'all. God, like God gave you life. Do you understand? So it's almost like maybe y'all think that if we became conscious enough to understand what's going on and to knowing who we are, we might come together as a collective and overthrow y'all. We don't give a damn about y'all. We're not even paying y'all no attention. That's the whole point. Just stop fucking with us. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. It's like anything that happens, it's a black person. Y'all keep talking about Obama. That man ain't been in office for a ding, okay? You still talking about Obama. Let it go. Let it go. Black people are smart too. That's all I'm saying. And we're one of the smartest, race of people. That's why I say, like, you can't make us feel bad about who we are. I'm proud to be a black woman. I don't give a damn how nobody feel. You can take the National Archives. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with them. But you will never, ever take away who I am as a black woman. And the fact that you want to do this is crazy to me at being as old as you are. You understand what I'm saying? This man is knocking on the door. He's 78 years old and still, this is what I'm saying. It don't matter how old or how young. Hate is hate. He don't like us. And there are a lot of people that feel the same way that he feels. So for those out there that don't like black people, we okay with y'all not liking us. We don't give a damn. But don't ask us to do shit. Oh, okay.
Black people are still resting. And they're going to be resting for quite some time. Okay? Because I don't think y'all understand the severity. Like, I think that there's some people out here that think that black people are playing. And that we'll eventually get over this and we'll get back to work. No. We will get back to work in our community. Black Americans will be okay because we put in the work. It's the rest of the people of color groups that have not put in the work because they came to this country with rights that black Americans fought and bled and died for. So when black people say that we are resting, that is what we mean. It is not just this election. It is not just this. It is a culmination of so many disappointments from our existence on this stolen land. Okay? Because let's be clear. America is a stolen land built by stolen people. At the end of the day, that is what America is. Black Americans decided that they wanted to make something out of nothing. And that is what we have done for hundreds of years. And have literally laid a table together for everybody to be equitable. Okay? Equitable. All we want is equity, not revenge, not a leg up in the world, but equity across the board. And because America said that that's not what she wants, everybody is going to have to reap what they sow. Black people have been sowing seeds of equity, civil rights movements, voting rights movements. We have been sowing good seeds. So over the next 4 to 8 or however many years, Black Americans are going to be okay. It's all the other groups that we were worried about. But y'all let us know y'all not worried about yourselves, so we can't.
Can we talk? It's been a while. I know. But black women, we're still resting. Yep. Black people as a whole, we are tightening up our ship. Black people as a whole, we are building community amongst each other. Everything else around us is just a distraction at this point because we warned, we shared information, infographics, data, and statistics of what might happen. And clearly, people did not believe that fat meat is greasy. And that video that I just shared was a couple of days after the election, after I had gotten all the tears out, after I had cried it out, after I had prayed it out, all the things. And I said, this was different because the levee of trust broke all the way, right? Black people have lived in a certain, Black Americans, the descendants of the enslaved, have lived on this stolen land for quite some time, and we understand patterns. We understand when the shift in the atmosphere changes, and we move accordingly. And what we're seeing is we have conditioned ourselves to do that. We have conditioned ourselves to pivot when the temperature changes. And a lot of people now are seeing the temperature change, not just feel it, but see it in real time. And they don't know how to react and they don't know how to deal. So anybody that is getting on this app trying to tell Black women to do anything, trying to tell the 80% of Black American men to do anything right now other than do what we've been doing the past 10, 11, almost 12 months. You're part of the problem, not the solution. I hate to say it, but some of us ain't gonna make it because we too busy trying to argue with stupid. We too busy trying to argue with stupid. And I just refuse. This is your friendly reminder. We know how we got here. Our rest is important. How we mobilize look different. A lot of the revolution will not be televised. And that's why a lot of folks is mad because they don't know what we doing and it scares them. Okay? So while you all are building out
your community while you are tightening up the ship, whether you all are saving more money. Because when I tell you, I get annoyed when I have to spend any amount of money because I have gotten so like, I work hard for my money, and I'm not just about to give it to anybody or anything, because it's apparent y'all don't care about my money. Y'all care about my money, but y'all don't care about me, and that's a problem. It's some places I don't go no more. It's some people I don't see anymore, because at the end of the day, we have got to guard our gates. We have got to guard our peace. We have got to guard our energy, because the more chaos ensues, the more dangerous people get. The more, people do stuff because they just can't pinpoint what Negroes is doing, and they mad about it. So at the end of the day, make sure that you are moisturizing. SPF is necessary for us. Drink your 6 to 8 glasses of water or more. Make sure that you are getting in the gym. As I talk to you, I'm talking to myself, because we in for a long ride, but it is nothing that our ancestors have not done that we cannot do again and better, to make sure that when we come on the other side of this, we don't have to, this can literally just be a lesson. But this is a hard lesson because now everybody is learning it, because y'all just didn't want to believe Black people who have been oppressed in this land for quite some time. Yep, slavery is ended, but systemic racism is everywhere. And now y'all are figuring out that racism, classism, otherism, it's all on the same boat now. So, y'all be well.
Would you be my friend? That's the video that I just saw scrolling through my For You page. And it is of this white man who's wearing a baseball cap. And he is staring earnestly into the camera. And the first thing he says is, to all the Black people, Mexican, and people of other races, would you be my friend? If I approached you in the park and started talking to you, would you be my friend? Then he goes on to say, I am so sorry for what my ancestors did. Now, I didn't do it, but I know what my ancestors did hurt you. Please get the fuck out of here. First of all, hell no, I would not be your friend. And I do not recommend that you see a Black person out in public that you do not know and go up to them. Those kind of videos, and I didn't stitch it because I do not want to give that kind of content any boost in numbers and viewership at all. But it really does just infuriate me, the fact that white people still do that. Would you be my friend? I love all races. That's a different iteration of I don't see color. And after the election, all of the white people on social media, let's just take TikTok. I voted for Kamala. I'm not like those other white people. Let me tell you something. It's performative. There's that word. And it is also disingenuous. First of all, how are Black people supposed to know you love Black people and everybody of all races? We cannot tell that just by looking at you. And those of us who do have common sense, in a sense of self-preservation, we're not just going to take you at face value. If I walk up to you in the park and started talking to you, would you be my friend? Hell no. I would back up and keep minding my business and keep it moving. This nation continues to let collectively Black people know that it doesn't care anything about us. Last November 5th was another resounding message to the Black community. I'm Black, so I'm just going to keep it to my community. And all of this hand wringing because you all are trying to assuage white guilt. You all need to be doing some hard work in dismantling white supremacy and taking a stroll through downtown corridors on a Saturday holding up signs and chanting is not going to do it. And see you all go in that voting booth and you vote to uphold white supremacy that harms Black people and everybody else that does not look like you, so that you can keep the racial caste system that is in operation in this country that benefits you and disadvantages black people and everybody else. You working actively to dismantle that system is how you show black people that you love all races and that you want to be friends. Get out of here with that crap. Would you be my friend? No, we wouldn't.
Black people mind their own business. They do what they need to do to, go by their lives. They thrive, they glow, they just be minding their own business. They, produce music or create a new fashion trend or just a trend in general. They do things according to what they like, not according to what they believe the general public will think. They do it according to what they want. And this bothers so many white people because coming out of a school system that has completely taught you that you are far more superior to a certain people, coming out and realizing that these people are living way more freer, they are enjoying every bit of their existence more than you are, it hurts you. And instead of white people actually thinking about why that hurts them and why that annoys them, they start attacking black people. They start speaking rudely and asking them questions in public for no reason, instead of actually looking inside themselves and realizing, okay, something is wrong with me. A black person will play a piano in the streets and other people will stand, and record. And then a white person will just pass by and press on the piano and move on. Just no one did anything. The black person was literally entertaining other people. And that a white man, it is actually a true story. A white man just came and pressed on the chords so that he can ruin what the black man was doing, and he left, he went. And other white people were like, what just happened? What is going on? I saw another interview on TikTok where a white man was wearing a Mexican outfit. Fully white man, not a Caucasian man. He was wearing a Mexican outfit, and he was specifically asking black people, because he knows that black people are always ready to come to the aid of other people. They're always ready to defend when those people are not around. That is what black people do, because they believe in community. They believe in fighting for the little guy and fighting for your family, and even people who are not your family, people who you understand each other, And this white man specifically goes to ask black people. He asks black people, do you believe that my attire, what I'm wearing, is offensive? And most black people are like, yeah, because you need permission from the Mexicans to wear such an outfit. You cannot just be wearing that, because in a way it's appropriation, like you're not allowed to do that. And truly, yeah, you're not allowed to as a white person unless a Mexican has allowed you to do it. And then he moves on from black people, goes to Mexicans and asks the Mexicans, does my outfit, is it offensive to you? And Mexicans say, no, I don't believe it's offensive. I like it. You look good. And that is fine. But you see what he is trying to show. You're understanding what he's trying to show. He's not trying to show that black people are good and they actually come to the aid of people who do not even share a culture with them. He's trying to show that black people are into other people's businesses, when he is the one who targeted specifically black people. I think that is what is so rampant and is so huge in America, where white people can literally not mind their own business. They literally have to continuously make black people either feel less of or just embarrass them in media. And you have so many people going to the comment sections and talking about it without actually thinking about what this white person was actually doing. You are there, texting, instead of actually sitting down and, wondering within yourself, what was actually the purpose of this experiment? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, he didn't need to do that. He could have just won it and talked to Mexicans only, without even going to other communities, not going to white people, not going to black people, not going to any other people, just Mexicans. But because there's this narrative he has to push, and the only way you can go viral is by mentioning a black person, he did that. And this obsession, this continuous having black people's names and things that they're doing in their community in your mouth needs to stop. And you know what's funny, because most of white people like showing that they support black people. They like showing that they love black people, and you have so many white women who marry and white men who marry into the black community, and that is fine, it's okay. But the thing that they do is, let's say that they themselves, they are better, they don't believe in racism, or they do believe that racism exists and they do not like it, and they believe that any other person is the same to them. That's fine. But why would you bring, and your family does not believe it, so why would you bring a man or a woman who is from this other community that your family has not accepted, bring them into this situation, get kids into also that situation, and have them live with your family, and you know how your family is? Why? And that's why one of the ladies talks about how these people who are not people of color and people who are not part of the minority groups are not allowed to speak, or even if they are, let's say that they are, yes, they are allowed to, actually, sorry. Let's say, yes, these people are also allowed to talk about, if they truly believe that black people are actually not being treated well, they are allowed to speak for black people and people of color and the minority groups. But there is way more that you need to do other than speak on it. Because when you go back at home, you sit down with your parents or your grandparents or your children, and those people are racist. And then you go to the streets and then you talk about something different. You say that you support the culture of black people and you want to be incorporated into the culture, and we have so many celebrities and people, white people, who, you know, borrow a thing or two from the black community, and it's fine. Otherwise, black people do not mind sharing a little bit of their spice. You know, like, it's fine, we can give you a little bit of light there and there. It's fine, because, you know, the bigger light is with them, so it's fine. So once you get it, why do you again have to change it to, now that you have it, now it's cute, now it's demure? But when a black person had it, it was not on fashion, it was boring, it was ghetto, it was too loud, it was disgusting, it was not nice. Why do we have now you acting like you support this particular community, and then once they open up to you, they share a bit of themselves, you take it to the rest of the world and show it as if you are the owner of it, or you borrowed it but now you made it better because you have a different skin color than the black people. You have a different skin color, so you present something particularly different. And we have so many celebrities who do this. So many people who should actually be standing for the minority group, standing for black people. Because so many trends are being done by black people. So many trends that are coming up are being done by black people. And yet, this obsession of having to always be included in black things, black, you know, communal activities, they only want to be included in them. And once they're included, now they start being weird. Why do you have to start being weird? Why can't you do your work into making sure that black people actually trust you? And then after they trust you, why don't you maintain that trust? Why don't you not take it and make it into something different than what it was supposed to be? Yeah? And you are very well known for borrowing. You like borrowing. The same way black people, yeah, we are all in a community. We borrow from each other. It's fine. But why, when a black person says that they do not want to share something specific, they are considered a B, you know, the B word? Like, black people are now entitled, you are now entitled to be given whatever and everything that black people do. And yet we know that you're not too good at giving. You're very good at borrowing. You like being given, but you're not good at giving. Because to now, have you paid reparations for all the things, for all the hard work black people did into making America what it is right now? Have we? Oh, no one is talking. Have we done that? No, you have not. You have not given back reparations. You are not even fighting for black people to make sure that black people get the same opportunities as you do. You do not want black people to get to a point where you have to now fight to get a certain opportunity. You want to make sure that every other business opportunity, every other opportunity that you may ever have is only reserved for you. You want to continue enjoying the system that is, you know, giving you a privilege and hurting the black people. That is what you want. You do not want the betterment of your country. You couldn't care less about the betterment of black people. You care about you, your family. You care about your kids. You want your kids to go to the best schools. You want to live in the best neighborhoods. White. All of these things have white. The best is white. But never, we can never put best and black, even though they have literally the same B in both those names. You do not want the best where black people, thrive. You do not want that for your kids. You don't want that for yourself, especially too loudly. You don't want to be associated too loudly with this particular community, but you're going to talk to them privately and support them in private. That doesn't make any sense. If you do not care for black people and their welfare, then leave them alone. Leave black people alone. Literally, leave black people alone. Let them exist. Black people do not want anything from you. They have said this and they will say it again and again. Black people do not want anything from white people. They are literally thriving by themselves. They can do whatever they want. They can invent new things. They can grow whatever they want to grow. Their culture still remains the way it was, intact from years ago. Yes, it's different because white people have made sure that they have cancelled out and they have burnt a lot of black people's cultures, but they still have it in their hearts and they still follow some of these things. Black people can literally flourish in any environment you put them into. That's why they came from being slaves to now being one of the most powerful, the most educated communities in the world. It's because they persevere. I think white people take it as a threat when black people don't even be caring. They don't care. They are just doing it for themselves. They're not doing it as revenge to you. They're not doing it as a way to get back at you and to prove a point. No. Literally back to the same point, minding their business. How about you mind yours too? How about, so these people have thrived in less than 100 years since they were liberated from slavery. And us as white people, we have had more than 400 years to be better. And literally, we are now competing with these same people. That is crazy. You need to look inside yourself and realize that it is not black people who are a threat. Your threat is your own history. Your own history has given you the threat that you're living with today. And until you realize that your enemies are your ancestors and not black people, that's when you can begin to grow. Until you realize that the system is your enemy, that's when you'll begin to grow. Because a system that continuously gives you things even when you don't earn it, that is a system that is making you weak. That is a system that is making you weak. You need to realize that. And I hope you've learned something today. If you have, kindly consider sharing, subscribing, and liking. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I have enjoyed doing it for you, and I would like to hear what you have to say about this particular video. Kindly comment. I'd like to interact with you in the comment section. If you'd like to support me in another way, I do have a buy me a coffee link down in the description. I will truly appreciate it. I hope to see you in the next video. Kindly hope to see you in the next video. So come back. Goodbye for now.